Here's the thing, their nests underground are 12 to 18 inches deep. So forget about trying to find the nest unless you really want to dig. All right, it just isn't going to happen. They can live up to 4 years in the wild. So doesn't mean they're going to be 4 years in your yard. Usually it's about 6 months, 6, 8 months or so. When they clean out their easy food source, they're going to move on to your neighbors. Okay? So again, that goes back to what I was talking about before, some of the evidence that we have, the anecdotal evidence of, well, I put mothballs in there and they were gone. It may have just coincidentally happened at the time that they were moving on. That's usually the case. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about their tunnels. They have 2 types of tunnels. That's critical to understand that when you're trying to control them. You see your yard all tore up and the turf tore up. I get out there and I'm always stamping down on it, figuring out, well, I'm going to make it tough on them. That doesn't do it at all. But there are 2 types of tunnels. All right, there's their feeding tunnels, their exploratory tunnels, and then they have what I call runs, or their regular tunnels. And there's a difference in them. The tunnels that meander in the middle of your yard are their exploratory or feeding tunnels. And they may, but they don't always go back through those tunnels. So if you set up a control method in those tunnels, chances are you're not going to be very successful. Okay? And that's why a lot of people have a hard time controlling them. You have to understand the difference. So how do you know the difference? Let's see if it's on the next slide now. Okay? The runs are usually straight and they're usually along something, a structure or something. It could be a sidewalk. It could be the house foundation, the street. Not always though, but they are going to be straight. And that's the one that they're going to use all the time. That's where you need to take control measures that you're going to do if you're going to do anything on those runs, because they're going to go back and forth in those. Those where they're tearing up your yard is not going to work, okay, unless you're lucky. All right, because they'll go in, they'll feed, they might not even feed, they're just exploring for more food, and then they go and they just kind of meander around in your yard. So the exploratory or the feeding tunnels are not where you want to set up your control methods.